All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another GVN interview. I'm Tia Fabi, and I have with me an actor who has over 400 acting credits to his name, Garry Chalk. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Little warm out today. It's a great day, and I just finished work, and so I'm home, and just in time too. So
Fabulous. Saying before you have over 400 acting credits, I knew that I've seen you in plenty of projects throughout the years, but I didn't realize just how many things you have been in that I've seen until I looked at your Wikipedia. I mean, how do you get the time to fit everything in?
how? By never taking a vacation.
Well,
I never. I My last vacation was 6 years ago.
oh wow.
Yeah, I don't take vacations because, well, my wife was a city councilor and she couldn't get away, and because for the she's working on civic business. She's a politician, and so that was hard. And I there's an old joke with actors: every time you book a vacation, you book a gig. So I've had times where I've gotten on a plane and the plane is about to taxi down the runway, and my agent calls me and he goes, "You have to come home right now. You're booked."
Oh
And
my
I said,
gosh.
I said, "I'm on a plane. I'm flying to Phoenix." And he says, "Well, fly right back." And I said, "Well, that's a bit difficult. The company will pay for it." And I went, "Okay." So I literally landed in Phoenix, then turned around, waited an hour, hopped on a plane, and flew back.
Oh wow.
No, I've had
Well,
things like that. I went and did a thing. I was doing the movie The Fly 2.
mhm.
And I had finished the movie, but I had to do ADR at Vance Studios in San Francisco.
Mhm.
But on that day, or the next morning, I was, or the next day, I was working on this Disney thing called Davy Crockett. And they said, "You have to be here by the afternoon." And I said, "But I'm working in San Francisco." And he says, "Doesn't matter. Just get on a plane early and come." So I couldn't get on a plane early, but I went and did my ADR in Berkeley at 7 in the morning. And I hopped in a cab and went down to, I guess it's San Jose where the airport is.
Mhm.
And I went into San Jose, got a flight up to Vancouver, got in my car, drove an hour and 10 out to the set of Davy Crockett, and made it 10 minutes before my call time.
You made it though.
Oh, they were over the moon. I'll never forget that. "You're here," and I said, "Yes." "That's amazing. You made it." And I said, "Yes." "What's so amazing about it?" "Oh, it was crazy. I had times where I worked 7 days a week,
Wow.
every single day. I'd work cartoons. There was one period for a couple of weeks where I worked cartoons in the daytime,
Mhm.
and then I worked a movie at night. And so I do the movie, and the movie was called Unforgettable, and I think it was with Ray Liotta.
Mhm.
And I'd start work, or my call time was 4 o'clock. I'd start work at 5. I'd work till 5 in the morning, dash home, sleep till 8, get up, dash to the studio, work from 8 till 4, then dash downtown, or 8 till 3, dash downtown, be on time for my 4 o'clock call done for the movie. And at the end of that session, it was work wise, I made a pile of cash, but I was seeing little rabbits coming out of the corners of my eyes. I was so tired. I remember sitting in my chair. I'd been sitting in my set chair, and I go like this, and I'd be gone. I'd be absolutely unconscious until somebody had to shake me awake and said, "Okay, okay, I'm ready,"
Oh
and go
my
home and then
gosh.
start shooting. Oh, it was crazy.
I
But that
mean,
happened. And there was a few, there was a few crazy things like that happened. But that I guess what it was is that uh, people just like working with me because I'm a lot of fun.
I mean, you just did a cartoon today. I don't know if you can talk any further about that. Okay.
I actually, just before your phone call, I got an email from the company, well, from my agency to all our the cast members and that, going, just remember what your NDA sounds like and what it looks like. We don't want anything inappropriate being posted online or said blah blah blah. And I went, okay. But I don't anyway. I don't if I don't say anything until it's on the air, until it's advertised.
Then lips shut. I won't ask any more of
Lips
that.
are sealed. You and all your other readers, but or your other followers, but the one cartoon I can talk about, which is really fun because it's already on IMDb and it's already the trailer is already out, is a thing called Monster Hunting Maniacs.
Fun. Okay.
It's very fun. It's apparently presently airing in Scandinavia and the UK. It's very, very funny and it's very well written and drawn, and the characters are hilarious. And I'm having a lot of fun, or I had a lot of fun with it, and hopefully it'll be coming to the United States and Canada soon. But well, you'll see. I mean, if you look at the trailer online, you can see it, and it's pretty fun.
I will definitely have to check it out. But Garry, I wanted to bring you on specifically to talk about the character who I don't really believe would have become so beloved if it weren't for your voice acting. And that, of course, is the character of Optimus Primal in the Transformers Beast Wars. As a 90s kid, Beast Wars was my introduction to the Transformers franchise. And I wanted to start off by asking that when you got the gig, were you very familiar with the Transformers franchise before that, or not really?
Well, I must be honest. I my only exposure to Transformers at that time is I would do radio commercials or voiceover for TV commercials for Transformers Generation 2, which was back in the 80s, I guess, or early 90s. And I never thought of it. I just know another toy line. I didn't even know that there was a cartoon about the Transformers because I was at an age where I didn't really watch cartoons. And I got this call to go and audition for this show called Beast Wars. And I went, well, that's kind of cool. So, okay. And they showed me renderings of the drawings, of the characters. And I went, oh, I like this. This is neat. And so I auditioned for it, and I auditioned again and again. And originally, I thought I was going to be playing Megatron. David Kaye was going to play Optimus. But then they put the two voices, and they said, nope, David Kaye is going to be Megatron, and Garry Chalk's going to be Optimus. And I went, okay, great. Well, let's rock and roll. And then I saw the first episode, and they gave us the toy, and I went, oh, this is really cool. It's CGI. It was the first time I'd seen CGI in a cartoon show, and I thought, this is amazing. And I went, okay. And then I went, so it's still just a cartoon. And then I went to a convention in Van Nuys, California, with some of the cast members, and they flew us down, and I walked into the auditorium, and there were about 1,000 or so people in the auditorium, and nobody said anything. But I don't know if you ever seen Galaxy Quest.
Yes.
Remember when what's his face Ted walks into the room and all the girls are sitting at the table and they go like that. Okay. Well, I walked in and the organizer said to these girls, it said, ladies, this is Optimus Primal, this is Garry Chalk, and they all went I guess I went okay. And then we came with the cast and we went up to the stage, And he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of Transformers, this is blah, blah, blah." And the place went absolutely insane. And it was just crazy. And people lined up round the block to sign papers. And I went, "Oh, I guess it's a big deal then." And I was quite overwhelmed, actually. And it was, I didn't quite know what to say or how to do it. I just went, "Thank you. Nice to meet you all." I'm talking about the characters and building the character and yeah. So now I had a legacy to live up to. So and since then I've gone around the world and did lots of conventions and met lots of people and made lots of friends. And one person, Candace Santora, has been my sort of my not a handler. She is my assistant on at when I go to a convention, but she's also an artist in her own right and a very good artist. And she basically takes care of me, when we go to conventions. And one big treat for her was we went over to England in August, and it was very hot, like 41 degrees, and she'd never been off the continent. And it was quite an eye opener for her to see what it looks like over there in England, and the different money and the different accents and the food and everything. So it was quite something. But I had met her with her mother years ago in North Carolina. I guess it was in North Carolina that we had met, and somehow over the years we had connected, and she was doing artwork for me and organizing these videos and stuff like that. And so we have a pretty good business or partnership, let's say. And what else? I guess that's about it. I've met a lot of really fascinating people and gone to places I never would have gone to normally, just because of, well, things like Wichita, Kansas, and where else in North Carolina and Nebraska and places like that. I'd never been to any of these places, so it was quite an eye opener.
Did you ever foresee the longevity of a character like Optimus Primal and a franchise like Beast Wars? Because now we have an upcoming live action movie that's about to hit theaters in June.
Yeah, I never, honestly, quite never thought that it would have the longevity that it has, but it's gone on for years, and I'm quite happy that it has gone on, and it's had many iterations since Beast Wars was created, just like the difference between Beast Wars and Generation One. And then there were some of the iterations or some of the Transformer shows that I was not too fond of, but there were others that I really quite liked. The artwork and the stories and production value was very nice. And Ron Perlman is now doing the movie, this movie, Rise of the Beasts, I guess it's called. But Ron, I had met personally, and of all places, on the golf course. We played golf together because he was shooting a movie here and I was shooting, and so we had common interests. And I found him to be a very pleasant, wonderful fellow, and I love his voice. His in Hellboy, he had that tremendous voice in Hellboy. I love that, and what's the other Sons of Anarchy and all those other things. And I've watched him in lots of shows, and he's pretty cool. I quite like him. I hope he does a good job on this show. I got to be honest, I was a bit pissed because I never got called to even to approach the character and it was a character that I created. And so I was a little pissed, but all more power to him. He's a good guy. He's got a good voice, and I'm sure that he'll do it proud. And basically, I'm doing other things. I'm just working on other shows.
Well, I do know that since you played Optimus Primal, you also played Optimus Prime in Transformers Armada. You actually voiced alongside with David Kay, who then played
Yeah.
Megatron, which was very cool to see the two of you back together in the Transformers world. And I was going to ask that since then, were there any, callbacks to voice Optimus Primal? But you just answered that question just now. So
No, not at all. There was nothing. And when they were doing the Transformers movies, there was a faction that called for me and a faction that wanted Peter Cullen. And I can see that. I mean, the original voice, because I like Peter Cullen as well, and I love his voice. I mean, when he's got that, "We're here to save this planet called Earth," and I go, "Yeah, that's a voice." And he's also a great singer. So, and we've met a few times, and yeah, I was. I often wonder why we would never get a call, but and Michael Bay wouldn't give me the time of day. I don't think so. Anyway, but that's it. See, the thing is I'm quoting an old joke. Being a Canadian, we have certain limitations, and those limitations are that we live in Canada, and I'm sure that if I lived in the United States, something might have changed there, but I don't know. I just I can't dwell on it too much, because if I do, I just get I just sort of get not depressed really, but a little sad because that legacy has been passed. But I've been doing this stuff for over 40 years, and I've had a great career. I love my career. And if I can continue on, I'll continue working until I drop dead.
Well, before you were saying how you were at the time where you weren't really watching cartoons, right? When Transformers originally came out. But now you voice a lot of cartoons. Do you find that, do you chuckle a little at that, saying now I lend my voice to a lot of cartoon projects and everything? I mean, has your mindset on cartoons kind of changed since voice acting?
Well, I find that of some of the cartoons that I've watched recently, my favorite is an anime cartoon called Arcane.
Yes, that's very good.
It's amazing, that show. I love that. I love Bob's Burgers. It's kind of funny.
I love Bob's Burgers. Sorry, I have to say that.
And I love what's this other one called? Forget About It. Is this what it's called? Forget About It.
I don't think I've heard that one.
It might be a Canadian cartoon. It's about a mafia mobster and his family, who are on the bad side of the family. So they get into a witness protection program in Saskatchewan.
Oh wow.
A small town in the prairies, but they're still there in the big city. And it's very funny. It's called Forget About It. Well, you can look it up. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so I've watched some of those cartoons, and I have watched Gigantosaurs, and I've watched My Little Pony, and I've watched what's the other one that I watch all the time? Chip and Potato. And the reason I watch them is when I'm babysitting my grandchildren, my grandkids love, and Paw Patrol. They love those cartoons. And when I tell them I'm in two of them, they look at me funny. The youngest one, he just can't tell. But my granddaughter's now just about to turn 5 soon, and she's 4.5 right now. And I tell her I'm on the voice, and she goes, "You aren't," but it's on there. And I said, "Yeah, it is. But I'm Uncle Ernie, or whatever his name is, on Chip and Potato, and I'm what's his name, Prince Rutherford on My Little Pony." And she loves all that stuff, Princess of Power and all that. And So I'm basically living these cartoons vicariously through them.
Right. Which I think probably a lot of people with kids and grandkids would. I know that there were cartoons that I wouldn't know if it weren't for my younger cousins being about 10 years younger than me. So I can see that. Um, you do a lot of also live action acting. I saw on your Wikipedia you were in The Killing, which was one of my favorite shows. You were also in Freddy versus Jason, which I sat there and I go, I knew that he looked familiar.
Got to keep this thing contained once
Yeah,
and for all. I will
I
lock you up.
I just knew it when I saw that. I was like, oh my God. But do you prefer doing in-person acting or do you prefer doing voice acting?
Well, it's that's see that's kind of a misnomer, because but acting is acting.
Right.
There are different things. I mean, with voiceover, you can go dressed in any way you want. You don't have to put on makeup. You don't have to get there at 6 o'clock in the morning. You can just go out and do it, right? And it's fast and furious and fun. And I always have a good time working with my fellow castmates. Well, I used to before COVID, and what's happened is you get this really organic thing, and you get to see it or read it through to the end and hear what it sounds like. It's going to be fun. Movies, and I worked a lot of movies and television. I love the technical aspect of filmmaking. I love hitting the mark and all the camera different they call different camera angles and close-ups and twos and masters and three shots and POVs. I love all that stuff, and I love the crews that I work with because a lot of them I've worked with for 30 years, and they're just like another family to me. And I find that with my fellow castmates, they're always a hoot. I mean, it's very rare. I can count maybe 2 times in my life where I've had a castmate that I couldn't stand.
Mm.
But that was in 40 years, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But you're bound to run into one. But most everybody I've worked with has been a real dream to work with. And some of them were surprising. Like when I worked with Farrah Fawcett, I was with Farrah for I guess about 3 months almost.
Mm.
Did a mini series about a serial killing mom. And I was a bit nervous because here I am. I'm going to be co-starring with this media event, and I was basically still sort of new to the game, and I didn't know what to expect. And then I met her, and I went, "Oh my God, she's a consummate pro. She's a total professional. I love her." And we had such a great time working together. And oh, I just got my date for I'm doing a new I guess I could say I'm doing Riverdale right now
Oh wow. That's very cool. That films in Toronto, right?
in Vancouver.
In Vancouver. Yes.
I just got a shoot the shooting date just stayed up on my screen, so because I'm
Nice.
still doing that show.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. So basically the thing about film is that the stories are great, and it's interesting to watch how things cut together when you see the final product and you go, "Oh, I'm in that. And that's pretty cool. I like that." And just like like this, the series I'm doing now is so much fun. Playing a great character, like he's a comic book guy, and I like that. And I just finished doing a movie of the week that was a lot of fun with some of the Hallmark regulars. I've done a lot of Hallmark films, and then doing Hallmark is always fun because the guys are such a hoot because we all worked on so many shows together. So, but yeah, so each one has its own cachet. Each one has its own appeal. It's but all in all, it's the business itself that I just love. Every morning I wake up and go, I got a job. Yes, I'm a happy man. I remember I got my first lead role in a show called The Fly 2, about the guy who turns into a fly. And it was a summer morning. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. It was warm and sunny, and in my car, and I'm driving to work. And I just started killing myself laughing and going, I have the greatest job in the world. I love this. How could anybody not love this? This is so much fun.
I love
So
that. I love that attitude, you know, that you think that, because unfortunately you see a lot of people in the acting world who I feel like don't necessarily have that positive mentality there.
no, and a lot of it is it's ego. It's people telling you all kinds of things, and then they don't come to pass, or other things like that. And basically, what you're doing is you got all people saying things to you, and you expect things, and they say, "Oh yeah, we'll do that, we'll do that." And there are certain people who have other problems, other issues in their personal lives. But I I I only make two demands when I come on set. Well, maybe three. And my three demands are this: I must have clothes that fit, uh, a decent trailer in the three banger,
Mm-hmm.
and a table and chair. That's all. I don't care about anything else. And I've said that over and over. But somebody sticks me in a honey wagon, watch out.
Then there's hell to pay.
Huh?
I said then there's hell to pay.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I can't stand honey wagons. I mean, they're small and they're uncomfortable, and you can't get a table and chair in there. And those are very small demands. So they usually call best efforts, and I'll bitch and complain. So why the am I in a honey wagon? I don't want a honey wagon. I want a three banger. And they go, well, we've got a very full cast, and you're down the list, and we're doing best efforts, but we got a very full cast today, so everybody below 8, your cast numbers, gets the honey wagon. And I went, so that was my only pet peeve, is the honey wagon. But other than that, everything's great. I just love it. I love the fact that I get to go to work.
Oh,
I'll
I think those are reasonable demands. Is there a type of character that you haven't played yet, but that you would really like to play?
A character that I haven't yet played. Well, some political figures that I'd love to play, and like I like that. I've done governors, I've done mayors, and generals, and colonels, and sheriffs. I want to play the romantic lead, but it's not going to happen. I don't care what you say; it's not going to happen. I've had, one of the cracks I get a real kick out of is when I do a lot of the shows, and I'm cast as the widower of a woman who had passed away a few years ago, and I'm still keening. And when do I get a wife? But I did get a wife my last show, so it was great. But yeah, I've played lots of different things. I've played doctors, played Brits, I've played Germans, Russians. Trying to think. There's, I think I'd love to do a period piece one time. Nope, I did one. Hawkeye. I did a Hawkeye. That was a period piece. And David Crockett was a period piece. No, I don't know. What I'd really like to do that I haven't done is shoot a movie on an exotic island in the Caribbean.
That way you can get a vacation.
In the middle of winter. That's for me.
Well, Gary, I know that you have a lot of different things going on. You just got the notification for Riverdale. Is there any project that is upcoming that you want those who are watching this to look out for?
Well, I did a movie recently called Disquiet with Jonathan Rhys-Meyer, which is kind of a horror movie. It's on Paramount Plus. You could watch that. That's a real good one. I haven't played that kind of a. That's the first time I played that kind of a character. That was good. I just finished a movie called The Hammer. I had a couple of scenes in it with Reba McEntire. That was back in March, maybe. No, it was earlier than that. I think it might have been August or September. I can't remember. But it was a really fun movie with her. And just recently I did a Hallmark movie called The Curious Caterer.
Okay.
The Curious Caterer, a murder mystery, The Last Supper, with Nikki DeLoach and Andrew Wyeth, can't remember, with Andrew, and it was a lot of fun as well, and that's coming out. Well, that'll be coming out soon. I better confirm, because I always get it mixed up. I always think it's Andrew White, and it's not Andrew White. It is. Hang on, Gary Caterer. Here we go. Let's see, where is it? Oh, Google. Here we go. Andrew Walker. That's who I'm working with Andrew Walker and Nikki DeLoach and Sunita Prasad and myself and Kareem Malcolm, who's quite a nice kid, quite like him. And yeah, we had it was a real blast. And that'll be coming on very soon. And other than that, not a lot. I mean, it hasn't been a slow year, but it's been a time-consuming year. And the new season of Riverdale is on right now, and I'm in that, so you can watch that. I have a fun character, and that's basically it. Oh no, I'm starting a new series. I start shooting a new series on the 12th.
Okay.
Of course, I can't give you the name of it, but it's a new series and it's fun. It's kind of a crime show, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I've been going over the scenes and going, yeah, this is going to be fun. So, and I just booked. I literally just booked it yesterday. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's upcoming in a few days, and I mean, if and when you can talk about it, maybe you can shoot me the details or something.
Sure.
And we can help push that out.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Because the thing is they always get these NDAs are very tricky. You have to be, and these days where people can basically steal ideas and storylines and things like that,
right?
You have to be very careful of what you say and how you say things. And so basically I just say, okay, I'm got a new show up. I can't talk about it, but you'll learn about it soon enough. And I've asked the production, like I asked the producers on Riverdale, if I could say anything. He says you can't say anything until your episodes start. And then I appeared on IMDb, and I appeared in the trailer, and then I just saw the new season starting on Netflix. So I watched my first episode, and it's pretty fun. So you can watch it as well.
Well, I know that that's a very popular show. So yes, I'm pretty sure that a lot of our following watches that. So make sure you watch out for Gary in it.
I've got to say, I've had a very enjoyable time sitting chatting with you, and thank you for thinking of me and give me a call. It was quite wonderful.
Yes, and I do apologize that I've held you for longer than I said I originally would, but it has been amazing speaking with you. And again, once you are able to talk about some of the projects that you have that NDA for, just let me know. And I'll get this out in a few days.
Sounds like a terrific idea.
Fabulous. Thank you, Garry.
Okay, bye.
Bye.